I'm Rebecca Rombaum. I lead the Career Services team at Flatiron School. So one of the things we've always talked about at Flatiron School is how your first job is an extension of your learning. You're now working for a company, so your primary responsibility is to build value for them and use the skills that you've learned here to produce code, be a great member of that team, but you're also going to learn a ton in your first job. We see about 50% of our students taking internships or apprenticeships following the program, and the other 50% taking full-time, kind of more traditional salaried jobs. The pay rates for those can range really widely. So internships can start at like $12 or $15 an hour. They can go all the way up to $50 an hour depending upon the company. And salary jobs, we see the average starting salary around $74,000 here in New York, and somewhere in the mid-60s if you're considering the whole country. We were excited to see that the data from our alumni survey really tracked compensation-wise with students moving up and progressing in their careers. So students who take full-time salary jobs out of the program historically have been at about $74,000 in their starting salary. At the end of 1 year, our data says that the average salary moves to $83,000, which is an enormous raise for your first year, and really kind of demonstrates how much more value our students are bringing to these organizations after they've gotten some experience, and how steep the learning curve is right after you graduate in your first year on the job. At 24 months, we're seeing an average of around $91,000, and then at 36 months of $110,000. And so the compensation is really tracking with students taking on more responsibility, becoming more valuable, and contributing more to their organizations as their career progresses in their first few years out. One of our grads, Steven, started his career after Flatiron School at StreetEasy, a great company in New York. And 4 years later, he's now managing the team of engineers that works in New York on StreetEasy. We've always known that students come to Flatiron School not just to get a job, but to start a career. And we're really excited to see this data kind of back up what we've known for a long time, which is that students who leave Flatiron School and go on to their first job are then continuing to learn, continuing to become more valuable and hone their craft, and then are able to progress in their career, whether that's to a lead role or a more senior technical position as a contributor, or if they want to go become an entrepreneur or move into product. One of the other things we were really excited to see in this survey data was graduates kind of moving into all sorts of different positions within companies. So some grads will take junior engineering roles for a year or two and move into product management. We'll see other graduates who are being individual contributors in their first job or their first few years out, and then begin to lead a team. We've also seen students who are taking individual contributor jobs as junior developers right after graduation, and then they'll become an entrepreneur and start their own company using that baseline of skills that they've learned at Flatiron School and in their first couple of years on the job. Another one of our grads from 2013 went on to start his career at a big finance firm, and he was a developer there for a couple of years, and given his background working as an analyst at hedge funds and in the finance sector, he was able to use that experience to make himself an extraordinarily valuable contributor to their engineering team as now a VP at that firm. I think it's really important to understand precisely what your manager expects of you in your first job, because this is going to be a new experience for most of our students who haven't been software engineers before. So one of the most important things we tell students to do is sit down with your manager, have a conversation about goals, really understand what's expected of you, and as the job progresses, whether that's an internship or a full-time job, understand whether you're meeting those expectations and if there's anything in the way between what the manager is expecting and the way that you're performing. And that way, when you get to the end of your internship or the end of your first year, you'll be in a great position to either negotiate for an increased scope of responsibility or a higher pay. One of our graduates started at a startup as a developer right after graduation, and within about a year, the company had grown so quickly that he started hiring other grads and other junior members of the team and actually became a lead for the position that he had held the previous year. Now he's about 3.5 years from graduation and he's product lead. Just last year, we had conversations with over 100 of our alumni who were thinking about kicking off a new job search or were about to negotiate a raise. And we're always happy to have those conversations and actually really excited to keep in touch with our alumni community and hear about the amazing things that they're doing after their first or second year out of the school.